This is what Hawkins librarian Norma Hallmark said about this other bullshit complaint against City Secretary Mandy Thomas for contacting a city employee to sign city checks instead of the major. I'm sure they meant to write mayor there. But this is what she said.
No, there's not. And she is the most honest person that you got here. And she does right by the city. I don't see anybody else doing right. I'm done.
Amen.
No, there's no clapping. Volunteer. Norma, you want to speak?
Yeah, actually I do. I don't know, we don't have no rights in this town. I will say that on that complaint about somebody else signing checks, that was me. And I object to the way that this has been blown out of proportion because the mayor's health has been bad. Now, I had gone to City Hall. Mandy had asked me, because I went to pick up my mail, she had a stack of checks. She asked me, would you mind signing checks? And I said, sure, because I figured there was something up with the mayor and she couldn't make it over to City Hall to sign the checks. Nothing nefarious about me signing the checks. I'm a signer on, in a case of emergency or there's an issue or whatever. So I do not understand why that particular incident is added to that complaint against her when it was an innocent thing. And it should not even be on there.
Okay.
Norma, have you signed checks for the city before?
Yes, absolutely. I've signed checks for the city. You know, Susan made me a signer on the accounts in this event. And so when I was asked, I didn't think it was any big deal. You know, if it was, I apologize for it being blown out of proportion and getting Mandy in trouble. It shouldn't have. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
So you're telling me that the city secretary's main job is to pay the bills for the city of Hawkins, which includes mainly writing checks, and those checks have to have 2 authorized signatures on them. And that Mayor Susan Hubbard hadn't been into City Hall in days, I don't know, maybe weeks, to sign any of the checks. But librarian Norma Hallmark was in there one day, and Mandy just asked her if she would sign some checks so that for her to send out to pay our bills, because Norma is an authorized signer for the checks. And Mayor Susan Hubbard somehow turned that into a complaint against Mandy Thomas and had all 5 city council members agree to it because she was doing her fucking job. That makes no fucking sense at all. The Hawkins City Council is trying to reprimand Mandy for paying our fucking bills. Let that sink in for a minute.